have our board chairman here.
You may sit.
So, without much ado, I hand over to my board chairman, Mr. Charles Wayne.
Thank you, Ben. The director of the Physical Education Unit, you're welcome, of the Ghana Education Service. Representatives of the Ghana Education Service here, executive team of HFC Bank, athletes and officials who are not here yet, but we hope to receive them soon, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. It has been a very fruitful journey up until this point, from our first steps upon signing the Memorandum of Understanding with the Ghana Education Service last year. The Basic Youth Athletics Festival in Sunyani, also held last year, and to today, another presentation arises to the Ghana Education Service towards this year's National Youth Athletics Festival. I am therefore very delighted that our partnership with the Ghana Education Service is progressing successfully and smoothly. Last year, at the basic level Youth Athletics Festival in Sunyani, we did witness some very great talents from the primary and junior high school students. Indeed, the display of great fitness of some of the young lads spelt a ray of hope for the future of athletics in Ghana, our dear country. Today we are here again to affirm our bank's commitment to the development of youth athletics in Ghana by making good on our promises. Our presence tells you the level of importance that we as a bank place on youth athletics development in the country. As part of our sponsorship package for this year's Senior High School National Athletics Festival, we are pleased to present the following items to the GES for use by the athletes and officials at Cape Coast. As you can see, we have some trophies. We also have an array of medals. We've provided the certificates, as well as athletic vests, polo and t-shirts, brochures, and assorted refreshments for the games. Ladies and gentlemen, our sponsorship to the youth athletics is not just about providing logistics for the games. It is also about facilitating development of talents from the junior level to be assets to the nation in the field of athletics. If you might recall, the managing director of HFC Bank launched the Ghana Tokyo Gold agenda last year at this same venue when he was handing over similar logistics for the Basic Youth Athletics Festival in Sunyani. I'm glad to inform you that the bank has engaged the various stakeholders in athletics early this year, and we are planning to have the development path for the talents from the basic level and talents to be identified at this year's National Festival to be held in Cape Coast from August 22nd to August 23rd. Ladies and gentlemen, we must raise the standard of athletics in Ghana. We do hold a very, very high position on the continent, and we are not at this stage adequately represented when it comes to achieving awards and medals in international meets and competitions. Ghana cannot always be mere participants in international games. We must be seen as winners on the rostrum. The only way to do this is to be interested in junior level athletics and to support it, as our bank has shown commitment to doing. As the saying goes, we must catch them young, and I will add that they shall develop to be who we want them to be. I therefore take this opportunity to call on all other corporate organizations to come aboard for us to help this important field of sports. As we make this presentation today, let this final statement that HFC Bank, as its parent company, Republic Bank Financial Holdings Limited, believes in the youth of Ghana and their potentials to redefine Ghana's name in the book of international athletics. We wish all the athletes the best of luck, and I'm personally looking forward to an exciting festival in Cape Coast come 22nd and 23rd of August. Thank you very much. Thanks.
I was privileged to be there. Paula was at the event. Talent. We just lack planning and we lack support. And we are grateful to the presentation. I would let, if you can come up with.
Thank you.
The education service.
By one or? Overall,
10 regions, and so we have 10 display here. Yes, and then we have the caps, the trophy. Yeah, we have the trophy, and then we have the medals. The trophy, yes, the trophy are 3. We have for male and for female, and the best, and the overall best. So we can now do the presentation to Ghana Education Service.
that's the largest one.
Yes.
So this would be for the overall champions of the athletics. Thank you very much. All the best. Thank you very much. All the best. You haven't won it yet. Then we have first place for boys. Thank you very much. Then we have first place for girls. All the best.
Okay. Thank you.
I just want to, on behalf of the Director General of the Ghana Education Service, the Minister of Youth and Sports, the entire Ministry of Education, and on my own behalf, not only thank, but commend HFC Bank Limited for this wonderful platform they've created for our youth athletics. When we talk about sports in Ghana, it is the core of schools that we get them from. And I would say they are rightly placed by supporting school athletics. It's already said that we don't lack athletes in Ghana. We have them. We have the best of talents that can equally win Olympic medals. But we are always limited by funds. We have good plans, we have good training schedules, but we are limited by funds. So we are so happy, and I want to tell you, the Director General is very sorry not to be here now because he's in Cape Coast as I speak now, the president, on some important assignment, equal important assignment. So I will not say much to dilute what my boss has read. Our aim is Tokyo, we must win gold in athletics.
Yeah.
And I just want to say, I invite you all to Cape Coast, 22nd, 23rd of August, will be wonderful. And for once, we are not using soccer for the grand closing ceremony. We're using athletics to close the ceremony. That is how far we have also come to partner you and appreciate you. This is the first time in the history of athletics or schools and colleges sports that want to end or crown the entire festival with athletics. And I believe we've been housed when we come there. On this note, once again, I want to thank and commend HFC Bank and assure you that you have not lost anything. We will get you there, and I believe this partnership and collaboration will further extend us to higher limits. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Kumenya. I can assure you that we'll be there in our numbers.
Oh, yes.
Okay, announcements. We have a presentation to the chairman. For him being here, it's not easy to get your board chairman to be with you. So we are happy for him to be here.
It should be easy.
Your appreciation.
Well, thank you very much. We do too, you see.
I used to be so broken.
This occasion, we pray for traveling mercies for.
It means a lot because in GES we have the core of athletes, or when you come to sports activity, we have the core in the GES. We are left with tapping them and grooming them, and sports is very expensive.
You were addressing what the partnership with HFC means, simply because it's very expensive for you to have such activities done. So how far will this go to lessen the burden GES and especially your office was going through?
It's going a long way to support us and help our office, because medal costs 45.18 cedis each, and they are giving us over 300 medals, certificates of participation, certificate of officiating, certificate of merit, all work together. The vest per 10 regional teams are so high. If this cost is taken off us, it tells you that we have been very much relieved. And we can also use our limited resources to do more for the kids by way of training and grooming. So I will only simply say HFC coming on board is a blessing to us.
I am made to understand that we have 8 different disciplines taking part. Are they taking the responsibility of catering for only athletics?
Yes, HFC has come wholly to pick athletics, and it is all athletics they are sponsoring.
So sponsoring only athletics. What about the other disciplines? What is GES and your office doing about those disciplines?
With our limited resources, we are also on and working hard. So we are taking all the disciplines on board this year, except volleyball that we all normally alternate. Yes, when we play volleyball this year, the next time around we play basketball. This year it was our intention to play all, not eliminate any. But due to financial constraints, we had to, as usual, traditional, take volleyball out and do all other disciplines. And we are doing all other disciplines in Cape Coast.
I wish you all the best.
Thank you very much.
What influenced your decision to take up the mandate of sponsoring athletics in this year's second cycle GES Sporting Festival?
Well, children are the future. Our bank believes in the youth as being the future of the country. It's our greatest human resource as a country. And even in our banking, we invest in people. So for us, it was an obvious place to start sponsoring.
And why only athletics?
Well, that is one of the first endeavors that any person in their growth development engages in, sport. Even as a toddler, you start running, you start playing. And I believed, and my board believes, that it's a very important place to start from, because it helps to inculcate the best values in the child so he grows up to be a good individual and a member of society.
We have about 8 different disciplines, but you took up only athletics. That's what I'm asking. Why did you pick only athletics?
It's a good start. It's a fundamental and basic start. Taking up sports that require much more additional skill might tend to exclude many more children than we want to. So we wanted to start at a point where we had a broad base of as many children as possible to touch their lives positively. I mean, obviously, if we had gone into football or tennis, automatically, by virtue of certain factors, a lot of kids will be excluded. We don't want to do that at the beginning. We want a broad base to build up from later.
What were these factors you looked through and you realized that taking a broader picture or other sporting disciplines will exclude others? What were some of the factors that you considered?
Well, like I said, I mean, children start their lives by having fun and running. children start their lives by having fun and jumping. So the natural progression from that is children will start by competing in their running, competing in their jumping. And that was the idea and focus that we took to make sure that we bring in as many as possible from the beginning.
So how much is HFC putting into this?
We're putting in a lot of time and effort. We have spent an inordinate amount of money, but money has not been the objective. So we have not been concerned with any financial constraints. But as you can see, we have made sure that we provide the articles of clothing and the utensils for the sport for full enjoyment of the kids. And as time goes along, I believe, as we see the results, as we see the implementation of the Ghana Education Service, of the things we give, we will certainly increase what we are doing.
Approximately, how much did it cost HFC Bank to have all this?
Well, I can't say exactly how much. And like I say, money is not the object. Money is not the object of everything. The value and the effect of the gift is what counts. And that's what we consider. We've spent enough, but we are willing to spend much more.
Spending much more. So will you spend on basketball? Will you spend on football? Will you spend on badminton and other sporting disciplines?
Well, absolutely. I mean, and I think it's important for you to remember also that what we are doing here is we are setting an example. We are not the only institution that has a corporate social responsibility, but we've taken up an initiative and we've gone into an area that is very often overlooked, the children, the most important asset of our country's future. We are doing this as an encouragement to others to follow our example, to join us, and to invest in the most important asset of our country. So I'm sure we'll get to basketballs, footballs, tennis rackets, and what have you. By that time, others might have followed our good example, and we'll be wearing other hats for the children.
Considering what you are saying, should the FA come to you and say, HFC, we want you to take over the sponsorship of the Ghana Premier League, will you do that?
Well, I mean, I will have to put it to my board and we'll have to see just how financially we might be able to do that.
I'm very
not going to give you a firm answer on that here.